First of all, this video is not for the lowly dogs from the opposition view. This is for my viewers. I've injured myself at work because of the covert drugging. And you can imagine that these people are lowly dogs. They are cheaters. You know, when you lift things and you have stiff muscles and the drugs affect you, etc., it's bad. And today, kept bringing in the groceries. I almost slipped on the fucking stairs and fucking almost took a dive, you know. And when you look at a lot of older people, especially, they'll slip and fall and die from psych meds. You know, this is part of the 500,000 people that die every year. Psych meds kill you in all kinds of ways, and you know they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about all the old people that slip and, you know, crack their skull or whatever. You know, and fucking die. So, yeah, you know, these people are lowly dogs, and even if I never recover, I will always be the top martial artist in America. I'll always be the greatest martial artist in American history that's ever come out, you know, for the public to see. You know, nothing will ever change that. Nobody will ever truly be able to say that they're better than me. Of course, there's going to be racist white people that pretend some white guy's better. There's going to be people that pretend their favorite athlete or their favorite guy on TV is better. But we know better. You know, I can't possibly imagine man achieving a higher level of martial art excellence when it comes to combat arts, self-defense, and sparring than I have reached. You know. And if I ever recover, you know, I definitely challenge all the Shaolin monks and so on and so forth. You know, my challenge still stands, and the only way I'll delay the December 20th date is if somebody accepts my challenge anytime soon. Then I'll say, okay, we'll do this fucking, you know, maybe we'll do this, you know, early January or something. Hopefully that'll give me time to recover and to start training again, because my body is going out of shape. It's part of what happens when you're injured in a way that keeps you from doing martial arts, is your body starts going out of shape, getting out of shape. So, you know, I'm losing skills a little bit. It's also important to note that a great warrior must train, you know, must understand how to kill people even when he's injured. You know, you get injured on the battlefield, that's, you know, you're not gonna sit there and whine about it and say, well, I'm out of commission, you know, that's it for me. You know, you gotta, you know, understand how to be able to kill people even then. So yes, you know, a lot of, you know, it's very interesting that I injured myself doing work, the little bit of physical labor I do during work, instead of injuring myself doing martial arts, which I do all the fucking time, you know, and I do it in a very dangerous way. I do it on concrete that is uneven, that has a lot of loose gravel, a lot of loose gravel. You know, that's interesting. I've only slipped during martial arts, I think, 2 times in the last 6 years or so. One was on the concrete after I was being drugged, you know, and, you know, unfortunately I landed on my hands. The other was in a video when I was doing a psychic. It's on my Mech channel. And I think, you know, the drugging is the only reason I've slipped, you know, and it's definitely affected my martial arts, and I've proven that beyond any doubt. I'll put the link in this video. If I don't remember to, just ask me and I'll show you to the gang stalking / covert drugging 2012 playlist, which should have both the key videos and all of the videos I referenced in them. So yeah, even making this video is kind of hard for me because I'm pretty, you know, pretty injured here. And ironically, I still helped a family member carry some things today. It's pretty sad, you know. Ultimately, I'm the top martial artist in America. Nothing will ever change that. And I am probably the most anti-New World Order person out there, you know, because I don't just give you information and show you where to find more. I fucking advocate what needs to be done to beat these people, not just expose them, but what actually needs to be done. And a lot of people, you know, they don't have the heart to do it, whatever, you know. I'll tell you this, when someone like me gets injured, it's a bad thing for the New World Order. You know, the moment I believe that I'm no longer of any use making videos, then what the fuck do you think I will do? Psychiatry is a fraud, and not only in history do you see the government, law enforcement, societies, the people in charge of social controls, inability to figure out what's really wrong with people, and inability to do the right thing, especially when it comes to mental health. You also see this in the last 15 years. And just look at the last 15 years. We have now 500,000 people annually die in Western countries. You have someone as insightful as myself, covertly drugged, coerced. I will say, coerced not in the sense of blackmailed, what would come to mind when you say it, the typical version of blackmail, but in the sense of they held where I lived over my head, so it was similar to blackmail. It's similar enough to call it coercion. It is appalling. Right now, I ate a drugged piece of chicken. They're taking a lot of pains to harass me and drug me every single day. Before I've injured myself, I don't know when my mother, she injured herself, but she's not going to admit that it was for the drugs. It was because of the drugs. But I have her, I believe on Facebook, very upset. You can tell that by her way she sounds that she's injured. And she injured herself because of the spraying, the drugs in the house. I have her coughing, being very sick because of the spraying. I injured myself bad, and it could have been worse. It could have been a permanent injury, I could have easily died by now in a traffic accident. I mean, these people, if you look at psychiatric medications, when you take them, you need to consider that before you drive. So when you covertly drug someone, you are putting at risk that person and everybody on the road, little kids, on the way to school. Especially because the people doing this, they know that I go out in the morning around the time that little kids go to school. Quite frequently, I see children on the side of the road, And so by dulling my senses, by throwing me off, they're putting a lot of people at risk, little children at risk. But these people don't care. Of course, we know they don't care because these are the same people who sexually abuse little children in foster homes, in psych wards, and mental institutions. These are the same people who drug 1 in 3 foster children. These are the same people who target children for psychiatric medications so their brain doesn't develop properly. Instead, they have cognitive impairment. So then they can turn around and say, we see this brain damage, I mean, when you look at the scans, say, they were scanning people's brains, right? Okay, we know that there's certain substances that can alter one's DNA. Now, a lot of people aren't too aware of this. Look it up. And we know that psychiatric medications damage the brain. So when you have a brain scan for someone who's been on psych meds, you can say, well, yeah, this is the person's with a schizophrenic brain scan. That's a person who's on fucking psych meds brain scan. And most people don't think about that either. Well, we see this activity in this part of the brain for people who have schizophrenia. Yeah, they also just happen to have been taking similar, if not the exact same fucking psych meds for a prolonged period of fucking time, you dickhead. There's a lot of things that people don't think about this. The methodology of the experiments, the trials, is a joke. It's sick. It's a sick fucking joke. It's highly political. It's a sick joke. We just, society just does not take care, when it deals with human rights. America is the biggest human rights violating nation in the world. China really doesn't have shit on America. China pretty much sticks to what it says it's doing. America lies, so they're violating your rights, then they're saying you have rights that you don't really have, and they're going across the world and violating other people's rights and setting up puppet regimes that violate people's rights. So when you consider everything, America is the biggest criminal nation. It is the worst criminal nation. And all the government has failed us so bad, and the rich people have failed us so bad that they all should be lined up and shot. I mean, that is how bad they have failed us, that they deserve absolutely to be lined up and shot in front of their families. And I would volunteer to fucking do it myself. Okay, to shoot every single last one of them myself. You know, if that was what the country agreed needed to be done, and it was the legal, you know, process and whatever, you know, that we truly rose up and saw that our oppressors deserved to be shot, I would shoot every single last one of them myself. I wouldn't bat an eyelash, you know. I wouldn't really, you know, I'd have no problem with it. I'd say, you know, I'd tell their families, hey, pay very close attention. I'm about to kill your son of a bitch, fucking scumbag father and fucking mother. They're fucking Babylonian scum. Hey, little rat, pay the fuck attention, you little bitch. Pay attention. And then I would fucking kill them. I would fucking shoot them right there. I say, don't you dare fucking cry. Don't you fucking dare. Because they have failed us. Focus now, little child. Focus. 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 And I would be far more righteous doing that than having American scum, quote unquote, punishing people, quote unquote, teaching them lessons. That would be a very valuable lesson for that child. Much better than sexually abusing them. Much better than fucking drugging them and permanently damaging their brain. Showing you, hey, this is what happens when people just like you do evil on a large scale. They get fucking shot. So, with that being said, I hope every cowardly dog in the government, every pussy-ass rich person, every spiritual bottom feeder sees this fucking video and starts crying like the bitch they are, especially when they realize they ain't got the heart to confront me about it. I wish one of you bitches, even when I'm injured, would fucking confront me about anything I've ever fucking said, you pussies.